Well, hey everybody, it's Crumbawig 420 here. Just decided to come on, chill out for a bit, see what's going on out there, see how everybody's day's going. Hey Joe, what's going on, man? I saw you sent me a invite earlier. I didn't see it until about 6:30, and I was like, oh shit. Well, hey, off grid, what's going on? 420 Ed. I wish I knew how to invite people up on here. I'm gonna have to figure that up at some point in time. Ride's been good, Joe. Ride's been good. It's pretty much over now, but that's okay. That's all right. It was good. Hey, Robert's place. How we doing tonight? There we go. Just modding people up in here so you can sub up to each other and all that good stuff. And I'd appreciate it if you can hit that like button. They say it helps with the algorithm, whatever that means. Seems to be everybody's chats that I were on today had the circle of death every now and then. So we know the YouTube gods are loving us lately. Thanks, Off Grid. What's going on, Ed? Geez, everything. Plants are blowing up. Thinned them all out yesterday. Spent about 45 minutes doing that, almost an hour. I had my son with me. And yeah, it was crazy. And today it was hot all day long. And then finally, skies opened up and poured for a good hour. So that was pretty nice. Hey, Tree Nug, thanks for stopping in. Hey, you too, brother. You too. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a pretty good day for the most part. So that was nice. Wife had a good day at work for a change, so that's nice. Not for a change. She changed jobs about 2 months ago and is just getting reacclimated to this one. It's just a little different than what she did before. Yep. So, what's everybody smoking on tonight? I have a nice pre roll here that I made up of some strawberry kush, which is really got me pretty fucked up today. You know, I didn't start smoking tonight until about 6:30, I think it was. So, yeah. I was otherwise preoccupied during the day, so. Hey Bud Files, how you doing? Sorry, I'm catching up with the chat right now. Oh, you're back to your hash off grid? Nice. Nice. I was looking for my hash the other day. My son came over and I said to him, do you have any of the hash left? He's like, no, Dad, you gave it all to me like a month ago. So that must have been a gift to him while I was really, really high. Which happens. I don't mind. We've got to make more soon anyway. I've got a freezer that I've got a lot of trim in and like that we're going to turn into bubble hash. I just wanted to wait till I had enough, but now it's just, I don't know. We've got probably pound and a half of material, which is fine. We can just run that. I just wanted to make it so I could get everything done at once, like wait until after we harvested, but might as well do it, get it out of the way. Plus, it's very enjoyable to get our own concentrates and all of that. Is that Senate that I just saw that came in? Hey, Senate, what's going on? Sorry, my high ass is telling stories and somebody comes in and I lose my whole train of thought. I'm like fucking squirrel and just off to the races with that pretty much. Yep. Thanks, Ed. Yeah, hash is always good. If it wasn't so bright, on a wall behind me is a neon sign that says Crumbawig 420. And my daughter got it for me. The one who's coming home soon from Denver. And yeah, she'll be pretty pleased to see that I use it every now and then. I don't have it on tonight because it would blind everybody in here. I've got to put a dimmer on it so that I can tone it down somewhat. But it's crazy bright, crazy cool screen and white and a little black on the background. So it's pretty sweet. Hey, Dave, cheers. Stuffed crust pizza sounds pretty good right about now. Hey, go with the flow farm. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that's in here. This is great. I love it when you come online and you get to see people that you bounced around with either all day or people who you haven't caught up with in a while. So it's pretty nice. It's real nice. I don't know. I love this community. I really do. I was thinking of you off grid when the rain came today because I had moved some wires on my plant that I scrogged, and it seemed like the rain came. The plant stood up really fucking high, and now I got to go out and adjust everything back underneath all the netting again, which is a good problem to have. It was just didn't expect everything to move that quick today. It was kind of crazy. Crazy indeed. Hey, Homegrow, what's going on? Oops. Excuse me 1 second. I guess they're telling me that there are thunderstorms coming into the area. That would be nice. We could use the thunderstorms. We've had enough rain for today now, though it did drop the temp by almost 20 degrees, so that was pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. No problem, Homegrow. I do that because you guys are all people who I have bumped into or interacted with throughout the community. So, we're in here, we can share. When I figure out how to bring people up, I'll do that at some point in time. Defoliated Truth and Chronic and Jabba. Well, I'm going to have to go. I'll have to stop by the channel later or tomorrow so I can see those because I really wasn't sitting online too much today. But oh, that's cool, Off Grid. That's cool. Joe, great thunderstorm was here tonight. It's over. Do you have a lot of lightning? I fucking love it when you get the thunder and the lightning. We either get one or the other here. We haven't had the both in so long, which is crazy because I'm only a mile from the lake. I mean, if I go up into my bathroom upstairs, I can see the lake out my window, Lake Ontario. So you see the storms out there, but, it doesn't always push into land. And I don't know if you like storms. Well, then you'd fucking miss it like I do. No update till next week. That's why I said I'll have to come by and just sit in the chat all day, because I know you'll go out in the garden. You got to. I'll take it on the lives. Home girl watching your show, eating dinner when I'm done smoke. Nice. Nice. Good. It's the way to do it. It really is. Yeah, I realized when I posted my last video, I forgot about my 4 autoflower seedlings that I have in the tent in the living room. Yeah, I'm going to have to make a little short video, I think, and put them in there because they're doing pretty good. You know, I had a small issue with what looked to me like a CalMag issue, or I spilled nutrients on 3 of the 4 seedlings at some point in time, which I don't recall doing, not even when my high ass was in there, but that's what it looks like. It looks like either I spilled something on 3 of the 4, because that's what's weird about it. This is only 3 of the 4, and I treated them all identical. Yeah, or it's CalMag, but I can't figure out why it would have only affected 3 and not the 1. You know, but needless to say, long story short, I gave them some CalMag with their last feeding, and well, it'll be their only feeding that they're going to get until they go into their forever pot. But yeah, everything seems to be bouncing back. I mean, those leaves I'm going to cut off. I just want to wait until there's a second or a third set below them, and then I'll go ahead and get rid of them. All right, Joe. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you. Big Dave had a good one here last night, having up in the bed. Nice. Nice. Excuse me. I think maybe it's time for a rip out of the bong. Now that I'm choking to death. Next grow. What's going on, man? I looked up and saw Yo Wick in the middle of that bong rip, and I just blew it all out my nose. It just made me laugh, that's all. True enough, hobo. True enough. Very, very true. Here my high ass is staring at a joint, not talking to anybody. Sorry about that, guys. Was just drifting off for a second. Yep. So, what do we got going on? Talked about my sister a couple of times. She's heading off to Alabama soon, which is going to be, I think it's going to be different for her. A little bit of a culture shock. She's a very outspoken person. She's also going to a place where she told me I can't come visit her because I guess Alabama has some very interesting laws for cannabis and like that. You know, it sounds pretty strict. Everything from 6 months in jail, $6,000 fine, automatic suspension of your driver's license for 6 months. I mean, a whole bunch of stuff. So she told me just to stay here in New York and she'd come back and visit me. And I said, that's okay. I don't really need to go to Arkansas or Alabama, excuse me, for anything. Yep. But her husband has a great job and they are paying to move them there. They even bought their house and made it so that they could transition a lot quicker. So it's going to be great for them. It really is. You know, it's going to put a little unique perspective on things up here because it was my sister and me that were taking care of my dad, even though he lives on his own. And now she won't be around anymore, but I think she can handle a lot of things from phone, you know, that way. So, Raymond, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. There we are. Perfect. Yeah, so that's just going to change things up a little bit. I'll be over at Dad's a little bit more. It's not like he doesn't call me every morning at 6:30 and somewhere around between 8 o'clock and 9:30 at night. So I get 2 phone calls a day from him, and you know, I joke around that it's a pain in the ass, but I know I'm going to miss him when he's gone. So I might as well enjoy all those little phone calls and everything now because we all know our dads and moms and brothers and sisters aren't around forever. So, yeah. Yep. Cheers, everybody. Excuse me a second. You know, it's interesting. I just messaged my son real quick to see if he got a notification tonight that I was live because I was talking to him right prior to doing the live. And he said no. He said the other day he got the message like 12 hours later. And I think it was for my wife. She was sitting there like the next day and she's like, wow, honey, you're live right now? And I was like, no, I can't quite say I am. And needless to say, it was just a notification going late. Hey, Jason, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just sitting here talking about a little of this and a little of that and smoking it up, of course. Telling some stories about life changing due to people moving and stuff, but and a little bit about the importance of family, you know. Family's always important, whether it be your home family or the big family that's on here, you know. And whether you're growers or just smokers or growers, smokers, concentrate makers, vapors, whatever the case is, we're all in the same playing field and we're all good people. It's nice. All right, that was some of my lame ass soapbox rant. So what's everybody up to tonight? Yeah, it's good. Good to see you too, Jason. It really is. I was thinking about it. It's like you were like the first vid that I went on this morning. And I just thought that was kind of cool. You go, you bounce on somebody else's live, like Raymond. I stopped by his earlier, and it's like he had mentioned before he doesn't get to catch mine that often. So I saw he was on live tonight, and I was going to say something, and then this was last minute. So I'm glad he got to stop in. I really am. Candy Splash, Dave? That sounds interesting. Candy Splash. Huh. Thank you, Ray. Thank you very much. I listen to a lot of the stuff that you talk about on your live. Sometimes I'm a lurker in the background, but it's good stuff. Good people. Good people indeed. Smoking on flower called black soap. I have just had regular one that's called soap, and it was SOAP, not the ZOAP that people have talked about. I thought it was pretty fire. I didn't have a problem with it. I did not at all. It treated me pretty good. Halloween candy, milk, and cookies. Nice. It does sound good. Nice. Nice. I'm glad it's good, Jason. I see some people come on here and they get so fired up for the weed that they have and they throw what it is in there and then they're like, this kind of sucked. And it was like, then we feel bad because it's like, wow, we wanted it to be fire weed so we could find it too. Hey, Brian, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in and showing some support. I appreciate that. Yeah, I went onto your channel. You said you were looking for number 500, and I hopped over there fast and tried to hook you up with it, and it looked that way. So good. Good for you. 500's an awesome landmark. That really is. That's fantastic. Yup. Super Lemon Haze last Friday night. I like trying different strains too. I found that when I'm trying them lately, I'm getting them in usually an infused pre roll or something like that, mostly because I grow. So I always have on hand. I mean, right now, I think I have 7 or 9 different strains that I can choose from at home. But I'm not in a position to make my own infused joints and all that stuff. So I'd rather go ahead and just buy them instead. It's just easier. Feed 16 is done. 17 is brewing. Holy shit. You're going to have to go back to Walmart and get more newts. That's no problem at all, Brian. No problem. I'm swinging by your page. I sub up to people. I go and scope them out. I'll lurk in the background because some people probably don't want me slapping a Hey Crumbleweed 420 in the middle of their whatever that might not be cannabis related. So I try to be very respectful of that for everybody. But I always pound the like when I'm in there. Yeah, I figured as much off grid. Yeah. I'm still trying to feel that out for mine with the nutrients. I really am because, you know, they're looking fantastic. And I feel like an ass saying that the only thing in there for nutrients is grow dots and any Cal Mag that I gave them. I just wonder if it's really got enough to carry it through flower because I'm not going to have a lot of time to fuck around with it. If that makes any sense. Because if I'm getting partway through and I'm suddenly seeing a shit ton of deficiencies and I'm in the middle of flower, I'm fucked. So, JC, what's going on? Have you ever tried THC sodas from the dispensary? Not from the dispensary. We've got this place called Sea Farms, and they are a big produce place, but they also have a huge beer and wine side. And they brought in the THC sodas, and I did get to try one. It was okay. I had more of a chill, relaxed feeling than anything else, but I wasn't looking at it. I didn't think I was going to get high off from it, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, the THCA beer I've heard is yummy. That I have heard. I don't drink, but you know, if I did, I can guarantee I would be trying that just because I spent not a million years. I spent 20 some odd years as an executive chef. So appreciating a lot of things, cooking with a lot of things. Like I can just think of how amazing, you know, working with cannabis in the industry, the cooking industry now, the great things you can create with it and the great reductions you could make in wines and beers and, bourbons and all that exciting stuff. That's some fire shit right there. I played around with a lot of good food. Yes, I did. I did. It was good times indeed. But I'll tell you, if you ever read the book Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain, that's pretty realistic of the era in the food service industry that I grew up in. And it just, it speaks volumes of the way we were treated, to the way we treated others, to how we hired and fired people, the routines, or what do you want to call them? It was more like insanity when I think about it now, but these monumental shows of power that the chefs would go through in the kitchen, summoning up something like out of fucking Apocalypse Now before each meal because they felt that was the way, they brought the kitchen all together and all of that. But drug use was a huge thing in the kitchens. Growing Mo, what's going on? I just saw you sneak in. I was rambling about some shit again. Let me get you modded up. Perfect. 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 Just catching up in the chat for a second. Oh, that's no problem, Jason. No problem at all. As I said, I don't have a problem with modding people up. You guys are great. I also know that if somebody comes in and starts being an a-hole, and I'm off talking on one of my ass rambling stories, that you'll remove them from the room because, we're not going to tolerate any of that silly stuff in here because, no, we don't need it. think it's time to pack another bowl. Why not? I was cleaning all of my glass earlier today, and I didn't finish. So all of my normal bowls, just my normal slides, are out in the kitchen. So I'm using this today, which I can't stand because after like 3 uses, the inside of it gets so freaking caked up. But I might as well finish beating it to death right now, since I'll be soaking everything when I decide to finally get off from here and go to bed at some point in time. But it's early. It's only 10:21, so it's not bad at all. Packing up some more of this strawberry kush, same that I made the pre-roll into earlier. Cheers, everyone. Yep. Stay hydrated, everybody. Yeah, another one bites back. That's all right. That's true, Growing Mo. That is true. Anybody got any good plans for this upcoming weekend? Trying to think of what we have going on. I think some of that's dependent on how my wife's car makes out at the garage. We put it in yesterday. They weren't going to be able to look at it till tomorrow. So she had her ABS sensors come on, and her ABS, her 4-wheel drive, and her traction control lights all came on at the same time, and we're doing something fantastic like that. So she drove it for like a week before she told me, and then I said, best to put it in the garage. So I'm sure it's just a sensor or something like that. I'm not going to fret about it, but she's all worried that it's going to be $1 million. What's going on, Tone? How are you today? Yeah, so I'm letting her take my truck to work. And yeah, so that might limit some of what we're doing this weekend. I mean, we're both off, so it's not that. It'll just be Should be interesting just because we take my truck everywhere most of the time, so that actually won't be a problem. I'll actually free up a space in the driveway so I can do some stuff on that side of the driveway, I guess. So I guess I'd be pretty good with it either way, whether her vehicle's here or not. It'd just be nice to have it fixed. So, we don't have to worry about that. Just chilling, Tone. Just chilling. Nice. Nice, JC. It's true. True enough. Oh, I'm sure it will grow, Mo. I'm not fretting about it. I will be more than glad to tell my wife hello. I made her get her head in the video the other day because she wanted a bong rip. So I'm like, you got to come over here and then we'll see about that. So she did. It was quick. Somebody called her Mrs. Wig and she laughed at that. She thought that was pretty funny. So, hey, what's going on, Josie? Decided I have to pause for a second because I momentarily realized that I am just absolutely high as shit right now, which is okay. That's part of the mission of us all being up and on here, I'm guessing. Get high, have a good time, chat, hang out. Let's see here. Nope, that wasn't what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. That should be perfect. That should work out. So, guess we'll finish this up. What'd you have to eat, Josie? Anything exciting? Yes, yes, sir. If you're referring to me feeling good, absolutely. And that's okay. Huh. Well, at least I had the self realization to realize how high I was before I started doing all sorts of stupid shit on camera. So I was reminding myself of that too. Hey, you're on video, fool. So, yeah. Some cheeseburgers were made. Hayes, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. There we go. Get you all hooked up. All right. Baked pork ribs, potatoes, and white beans and rice. That sounds pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Huh. Trying to think of what I had. I know my dinner wasn't. I know what it was. It was one of those. I made like a fettuccine, but there wasn't a lot of it because I was making it as a side dish, and then we never ate it last night. So I reheated that and had some of that. Whoop-de-doo. Then I got hungry later and said, "Hey, we have some really nice hickory smoked thick cut bacon. So I cooked up like 3/4 of a pound of that, and that was kind of mine and the dogs and Michelle's dinner. So we had bacon sandwiches with tomatoes and good stuff like that. So, but yeah, yeah, that was my exciting dinner. We had air fried lemon pepper wings. Oh, that would fucking slap right now. That really would. That would be good. I would like that. Hmm. The bacon was good, Dave. The dogs liked it especially because I very seldom I seldom give them bacon. I was going to say I seldom give them human food, but that would be a flat out lie. I just sent a video to my daughter of me feeding, I don't know what the hell this stuff is. Cheez It snack mix shit. That'll probably be enough for them to take this video down or interrupt the live or something. But needless to say, the dogs like the shit that's in there, little pretzels and stuff and whatnot. And I say it's healthy for them. It's healthier probably than the dog food they eat at times, depending on what it is that you buy. Yes, I know. Those are Crumblewigs high ass rants, but there's probably some truth in them somewhere. I know, it sounds good. I think there's like 4 pieces left in the kitchen. So I may leave at some point in time and go get said bacon out of the kitchen. I haven't decided yet. True enough, Drone Mo. True enough. True enough. I don't know. It's I had to learn real quick all the things they can and can't have. Man, there's kind of like a big list. I mean, for me, I'm a garlic kind of guy, and I know that's really not good for the dog. So I got to think about that before I give him anything off my plate. Yeah, yeah. Watch someone do a loaded BLT and the bacon he put on was outside. It makes me hungry for bacon. I know. I know. And this bacon, I got to tell you, I'm not just patting myself on the back, but I like my bacon a certain way, which is, I don't know, it's not cooked crispy. It's just that point right before crispy. And of course, my wife likes crispy bacon. So I was like, what the hell? I'll cook it how she wants it, but I cooked it like right below how she wanted it, which was still okay with me. It was like the best bacon I fucking made in a long time. So I was like, chalk one up for me for a day. Fruit Ninja Master Blender Smoothie. You know, I have one of those ninjas and the thing works great. I've used it to grind weed when I'm making like 3 or 4 pounds of can of butter at the same time. I'll just throw my butt in there and just pulse it a couple of times and it just shreds everything for me. I've done, I do my shrooms in a coffee grinder unless I've got, a big ton, 'cause usually I'm doing smaller amounts if I'm doing them to make the psilocybin capsules. So, yeah. I don't know how the hell I got from one to the other, but here we are. Thanks, Mo. Yeah, I'm patting myself on the back because I know how to cook bacon at almost 60 years of age. I guess that's a good thing. Really off grid. So that was what they felt. Okay, so I went up real quick over on Troy's channel. I Love Weed. And he was talking about the concrete under his feet kept vibrating. And they were joking about how maybe it was a earthquake possibly in Alaska because, yeah, wow, that's pretty fucked up. Tsunami incoming somewhere. Wow. Jeepers. That's crazy. Just there we go. Yeah, I didn't hear about any of that yet, but I've been once my streaming window comes up, well, I can probably push something up in the background. I just know it pulls a lot from the memory on the computer. I noticed that earlier today. It was pulling like, I don't know, something insane. Hold on, and I'll tell you. This one is pulling 1.2 gigs, which is rather interesting. I don't know why, actually, because I have my cam running. That's it. But, it's different. Oh, it is on YouTube? Yeah, I hope everyone's safe in Alaska, too. Really, JC? Man, I hope everybody ends up being okay. Josie, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tsunami warning's been called off. That's good. Wow. That's crazy. Huh. Let me go to my front page here real quick and just take a look at something on YouTube and see what they're covering. Because they usually have a little news section. Yes, I'm still here. I'm just looking at something else. There it is. Alaska earthquake today. Huh. Tsunami advisory canceled after magnitude 7.3. Earthquake recorded off the coast of Alaska. Okay. All right. I see. Yeah, still the same. Everybody that's there, that's got to be scary. It's got to be super scary. I know I've been through hurricane and I have been through tornadoes, and I didn't enjoy either of them at all. Uh, the hurricane, I was actually stuck in. We have a number of car washes here where, you just pull into the bay and you put your money in the thing and you spray the shit out of your car and you make it fucking beautiful and then you leave. I ended up pulling into one of those when the hurricane came through. And that was quite the show. All the shit that was whipping by and everything. And yeah, it's pretty scary. But, it was the safest place I could be right then and there. And I was only like 3 blocks from my house, but it was just the easiest thing right then and there. And then the tornado was in Connecticut also. That was messed up when those came through. And they just picked and chose walking right up this whole neighborhood. To do 3 houses on one side of the street, and then the other side of the street, it'd eat up like 5. Then it would come back over and hit one, and then jump, a quarter of a mile till it hit back down again. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, JC. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, Josie. It is. An Alaska near Wasala. When was that off grid? Really? You felt it that bad? Jeez. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, way up where we are, I think maybe we've had not even near us, but where it could be felt, maybe seismic activity twice in my lifetime. So, yeah. And it was nothing even that anybody really felt. You know, one of those things whereas my father, who was an earth science and biology teacher, you know, I think he stays up and studies and reads this shit every night. But, you know, he'll call you up the next day and that'll be the first thing on his mind. You know, hey, did you feel the earthquake that happened at 1:23 this morning in like Saskatchewan that ran, you know, parallel to where we live and blah blah blah. So yeah. Direct hit 150-mile wind drain lightning. Yeah. That had to be brutal. Absolutely brutal. I know we ended up after the tornadoes, we left for about a week. Our structure and house was fine, but we came from Connecticut to upstate New York and stayed up here for about a week while everything was cleaned up down there and then went back down. You know, I will tell you, Max, shut up. Max, Max. Hey, hey, stop. Come here. What's the matter? Max. Can't you see I'm trying to do something important right now, like be unalive? Yeah, I know that I think that the only saving grace that we had with our structure just happened to be how the storm moved through. I mean, really, I just couldn't believe the randomness yet precision of how these storms move and how the tornadoes move and stuff like that. But I can tell you when all was said and done and we were leaving Connecticut to come up to New York right after the tornadoes had went through, I can only tell you that I have never smelled such a green smell in my life. Like the whole city had been cleansed. It was like, because you were smelling grass, you were smelling broken tree limbs, you were smelling soil, you were smelling all of this stuff. It was crazy, crazy indeed. But then a smell that I won't ever forget either. So that's kind of cool indeed. Hmm. Sorry, I'm just catching up. Wow. Hmm. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I know we all sit in our respective states, towns, cities, and everything, and we all have are different components of weather that we have to deal with that we dislike, whether it's the excessive heat year round in Florida, for example, or, suddenly the flooding in places that have never flooded before. It's interesting how demographically and geographically mixed we are on here. And it's just enlightening, that's all. You can go through chats in the morning and you can see how the weather's moving across the whole United States, and it's pretty fucking cool if you ask me. I know where to go if I want to know what's going on in Ohio or all over Canada, or definitely out towards Seattle and Florida and all that, Michigan, Ohio. So yeah, it's pretty neat. Happy hours, small grill, awkward pancakes, real I could do it all. Man. Oh. We must have thunderstorm coming through because that's what I think the dog was barking at. Let me see here. There we are. Yeah, it really does, JC. I mean, come on. Bacon on top of that, and you're eating like a king. No, I'd forgot about that bacon, and now I'm back onto it again, knowing that those pieces are out there. Anthony, what's going on? Power went out. Wonder if that's the same storm that's moving here through us right now. Could be. Could be. That would be all right. Even though the plants got the rain earlier, I don't mind them getting more tonight. It's not going to hurt them. Might make them grow a little more. Want to break that 6 foot by Monday. I'd really like to hit that milestone. So, yeah. We'll see tomorrow. I measured yesterday and I measured today so that I could see what the height difference was, and it was like almost 2 inches, which I thought was pretty crazy. So I'm going to measure again tomorrow, same time, and see where that stands and just go from there. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. Probably midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning, it'll be up near here, something like that, depending on how fast it's actually moving. But since I'm hearing thunder, I'm going to look real quick at this and see. Oh, yeah, we got huge storms coming through. Rain will likely continue through midnight. Good. Nice. Because it sounds like a very peaceful, casual rain right now, and I'll take that. Off grid. I was telling my dad about you today. He watches that TV show Alone. I don't know if you've ever heard about it, where these people go out and they send them all somewhere individually, and they have to survive on whatever. The person who survives the longest gets a big chunk of money. Well, needless to say, I said to him, that's nothing. I said, I got this guy off grid that I talked to. And I said, I'm telling you, I said, he's out in the middle of the fucking desert. I said, you want to know somebody who had to fucking rough it for a while? I said, I don't want to hear about your crappy outhouses anymore that you grew up with. I said, it sounds like it's quite an endeavor to be out there and to live that lifestyle. And I give big props to Off Grid for that. I think it's fantastic. Make it 100 days alone. Nice. Yeah, it is a great show. It is, but my dad's like addicted to it, which is fine. I've watched most of them except this anything this current year I haven't bothered to, but yeah. Yeah, the rain does definitely help the garden grow, JC. Big time. Big time, big time. Found so I live on a 5 acre piece of land that I own. So I'm all surrounded by woods on each side of the house. And we've noticed groundhogs on the other side of the yard. Well, I come down today to take care of my plants, and there's one sitting at the bottom of the stairs. I take another step. Where do you think he goes? Underneath the stairs. He burrowed a hole, that son of a bitch. He's made himself a house. So I decided when my wife came home to introduce her and she got to name him, his name is officially Fred, and we're just going to call him our pet now. Off grid. Hard part is in our heads for being that long. I've done 90 days before. Almost didn't want to come back to civilization. Huh. That's impressive, Off Grid. I give you big props for that. Man, huge. Huge, huge. Now, come on. You got alligators, JC. Those are good eating. I will tell you that flat out. Alligator bites, man, they are good. Just on their own. Little bit of like a light peppered seasoning on them and quick fried, a little bit of flour. Man, they are good. That is if you like alligator. If you don't, then I guess that means more for us who do like alligator. That's kind of the category that I'd put that in if I had to. I'm going to pass on that. And I'll tell you why, JC, because it falls under the same category of my brother brought me back from Saudi Arabia or somewhere like that canned camel meat, which I refuse to open and eat as well. So I would have to put that in the same category as that. Off grid candy bars are what brought you back? You were like E.T. People were dropping fucking candy bars, leading you back to civilization. I'm sure down there they prepare it like 90 million different ways. Up here, they try to keep it simple because we're right on the lake, right on the river, so they do it like that. But yeah, that's what I thought it would be Folgers coffee. Dude, chocolate. I got this shit right here. is my chocolate bars. See? Fucking camera. There we go. That's my part of my stoner fix on my desk. You know? You just gotta have everything within reach. Oh, I better turn this around. I just realized that. Anyone try the new chocolate like on my avatar? I have not. I have not. On my community page. All right, I'll check it out. I will check it out indeed. See if there's anything left in this, which there is not. Really good, JC? Off grid. Is that your new Meatloaf song, man? My industrial grinder. In case anybody's never seen one this gigantic, it's pretty sizable. It's what we're smoking on tonight. See if I can bring the camera down for a second. It's pretty deep purple in color. Yep. And that is the strawberry kush once again. Otis, lay down, buddy. Max, lay down with your brother. So I've got 3 dogs here. I've got Max, who is our youngest. He's about 4 years old now. He is a pug and a Chihuahua mixed together. So he is our Chug. And he looks kind of funny because his older brother, who is a pit bull lab mix, uses him as a ragamuffin toy. So he's got this gigantic scruff and this big stocky front like a bulldog would have almost, because of all these muscles that he's built up from playing with him for the last 4 years, you know, being whipped around like a little rag doll. And then we've got Otis, who's our pug, who is 13 years old and kind of fading. That's why I was telling his brother to go up and lay down with him so that he would rest a little bit. Nice. Homemade chocolate fudge is pretty freaking outstanding. It really is. Yeah, true enough. True enough. It's funny, though, how there are so many things out there that we don't make that we easily could, but we never think about it. You know, you can go to the store and what do they have there? They have a fudge mix. You know, so you buy that, and now you got a mix. It's got all these ingredients when in all reality, you can get away with, like JC's saying, 2 ingredients. And you got fudge. And you can have a nice day. Let's see. Sean 420, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Whoops. Let me just do this. There we go. Perfect. Too much work, Anthony? All right. For those about to smoke, we salute you. Cheers, everybody. Nice. Nice indeed. Those were some badass rips. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Zoning out. I've got this. So Temu is like, or was the bane of my existence. I ordered so much shit from there. And so I got all this cool stuff from Temu, one of which is this like LED reader board sign that's about this long, and it works off an app on your phone, and then you just have to have it plugged into some form of power source, but it comes with a thing so you can just USB it to your car, or USB-C, whatever the fucking one is universal now. That's all. But the thing's pretty cool. Here, let me see if I can turn my camera towards it. Maybe you can see it. There it is on the wall. Here, I'll move this back some. It says Crumbawig 420, and then it says Happy New Year's, but that's because I'm a jackass and never cleared it out of my phone. But needless to say, you can write all sorts of cool stuff on there. It comes with tons of preloaded pictures and stuff. So, yeah, but I got a ton of stuff off from there, weed-oriented off from Temu as well. And the stuff was pretty good. I ended up, way back in the beginning, I ended up getting a dozen bowls, for the bong. And I paid like $6.90 for them. And they came and they were like fucking nice chemistry grade glass. I was impressed with it. It was pretty fucking nice. But dirt cheap prices. Anthony Lester, my wife, and I ordered stuff from there. 45-gallon grow bags, yeah. I was looking to see what they had for bigger grow bags and stuff like that, but I found a company for next year that has 150-gallon bags, and they're only like 19 and change a piece. But they've got a couple of different kinds, so I want to see, in the price, there's price differences in them too. So I want to see what the big deal is with, one versus the other, because that's part of my plan next year is that I want to go with my raised bed that I have, and then I want to additionally have 2 or 3 150-gallon pots and just call it a day at that. So, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Anthony. You know, it's kind of like when I was putting stuff together for my grow outside. I've been scavenging a lot of stuff this year to go ahead and put together a lot of things from ideas. Alexa, turn all lights off. Thank you. Fucking Alexa's got to turn on the lights whenever the hell she wants to. Yeah, 250s. That would be joining the ranks of off grid. By then, he's going to be up to like 600-gallon pots or some insane shit like that. He's going to be trying to trim 12 footers. He'll actually, you know what's going to happen? Anthony's going to climb to the top of one of his plants. It'll be so fucking tall that he'll be able to see off grids all the way where he is. That's what could happen. And yes, self-admittedly, I am quite fucking high right now, but that's okay. That is my story at the moment. Stop, buddy. Full Mendo mode. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's fantastic, guys. It really is to have such big volumes of pots to grow stuff in. And as I said, there's a lot of experiments with my outdoor grow this year, and I'm okay with it because, as silly as it sounds, I know I mentioned it on one or two of my other lives. This is all helping me better for next year's grow. I know how I'm going to do things, what I need to build, where I'm going to put stuff, you know, how I want to design my scrog nets and all that shit, and it's, I'm figuring it out because of all you guys, actually, which is nice. I appreciate that nobody comes whipping into your channel for the most part saying, hey, your grow looks like a piece of shit, motherfucker. It's nice that that doesn't happen. I'm sure it does out there, but I appreciate that I haven't seen that side of things. Wow, 1,000-gallon bag. Jesus. All right, Sean 420. Peace out, man. Be safe cleaning the pond. You never know. That is true off grid. That would be pretty cool, guys. Both of you turned around and grew in 1,000 bags. That'd be insane. That would. I grow almost exclusively in cocoa, except for my the raised bed is a mix of everything. It's my own delicious blend of cocoa and peat and compost and all sorts of stuff like that. But the majority of it is cocoa. And hold on a second here. I had Coco come the other day because I got a really good deal on it, but I buy the bricks. So I hear this gigantic thud outside on our cement pad that we have out there. Sure enough, it was a UPS delivery, and I'm trying to figure out why UPS would be delivering something that I ordered off from Amazon. It was because it weighed 80 pounds. So apparently, the Amazon drivers don't have to lift over certain amounts, or it just got routed because it came from a different destination. But I thought it was just pretty interesting. Joe, what's going on? Saw you sneak back into here. Yeah, double your volume. Okay. Total volume. So it's just over 1,000 gallons. 6 holes. All right. Wow. I'll get there, guys. I'll get there. You know, this is coming up on my. I am only 3.5 years in growing. So I'm good where I am right now. I'm appreciative of where I am right now. Because I had a hell of a lot more to learn. So, nice. I used to say it's a long way to the top if you want to smoke a bowl. But then that was just me. That's how we used to sing that song. Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate that. Hey, JC, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you very much. And thanks for just being up in the chat and all that. It's definitely cool to see you. You have a great night. Later, man. Engage with your audience. The fuck does that? Oh no, I don't want to do that. Sorry, I'm looking at some of these buttons that are all over this thing here. I'm trying to see what they're telling me. Pop out dashboard, camera, manage. You don't have access to this feature. Why the fuck not? Why is it even there as a button if I don't have access to it? Piece of shit. Outlaws, what's going on? How's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Jeepers, I really missed you. You came in when I was fucking off on a tangent, bitching about something, I'm certain. Huh. Dave, are we keeping you up past your bedtime tonight? That's another thing, Dave. I hadn't seen you on in a while, and now I'm seeing you on more, so I think that's great. I appreciate it. It's nice to be able to swing by and chill in there. Smoke it up with you. It's good. It's good indeed. Yeah, it's cool. You know what? I found something interesting out earlier today, and it makes no sense to me at all. But when I have my computer on, there's a sidebar that drops down, and it shows me everybody who I am subscribed to's lives. I'm sure everybody has that. CB, what's going on? We are having an excellent night. But over on that side thing, I noticed there's people that I'm subscribed to that aren't on it, yet they're showing up on my main page. It's just pissing me off. I don't know why. It's like I'm set up for all their notifications, but they don't even appear over there when they're on a live. So, I don't know. It's another one of my bitches to throw at YouTube, but just because it affects everybody, you know. I mean, I mentioned it earlier that people don't get the notifications for, it can be range from minutes to, a day and a half. Somebody told me the other day, my wife to be exact. So, yeah, yeah, it is off grid. It is. CB, what are you up to tonight, man? Boom, 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 boom. Ba da ba 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 da da da. Cheers, everybody. Sounds good, CB. I will catch you later. Thanks for stopping by and throwing the support this way. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Have a great night. No, no hash on it. Though I could have put a dab of concentrate on the top of it, but I've done that before and it's okay. I mean, it's different. I would much prefer to do that and roll it up in a blunt. Have like they call it the hash hole, but I've seen it done where there's hash down the middle of it. I've seen it done where they're putting, some form of concentrate down the middle, whether it's a batter or something along those lines. And I've done that before, and that's actually, I prefer that. But, it's time consuming and a pain in the ass. It really is. If it comes to those and you really want one that bad, I would say go to the dispo and see if they have one there and make sure it's something that you really want, because I'm sure you're going to pay a substantial amount for it. Oh, cool, CB. Nice. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I apologize if I'm just drifting off, guys. I am very nice and high. I appreciate the amount of highness that I have right now. Yes, indeed. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I guess that storm came through with two cracks of thunder, and that's it. Now it's decided that we don't need to have any more rain or any more thunder or anything that I really wanted. But that's okay. There's always tomorrow, and I actually think they're forecasting more storms for after midnight tonight, so I didn't realize what time it was. So, yep. Surprised they're not running races early this week. We've got a racetrack in our town. They have, I don't know if anybody follows super modifieds or anything like that, but they have Super Dirt Week up here too, which is something that I guess is known throughout the United States. I can tell you, for us having a racetrack in town, I have never been to the races, and I am going to be 60 next month. So I can go to my grave saying I have never went to the races. And that's okay too. Yeah, I don't know what was going on at the racetrack today. I was talking to my wife when she was on her lunch, and she said to me there was a helicopter flying over really low, and it was going back and forth over her place of employment, which is in a big, gigantic shopping plaza, so that's not a big deal. But then it subsequently went up and landed in the speedway. So I don't know what that was all about, because if it was Mercy Flight, which is our emergency crew up here that responds to traumas, they usually use the Romney Fieldhouse, which is out on the other side of Oswego, that they usually block off, barricade off, and it's got a big helo pad there and all that stuff. So, oh, you like the dirt track races, Dave? Nice. Really? Bristol Motor Speedway? No kidding. No kidding. I was in Connecticut for about 13 years, I think it was. And for a while, and I don't know if it still is the case, my ex-wife's brother is a electrician for there. So, yeah, yeah, small fucking world. Small world indeed. Yeah, yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah, when I grew up, I lived on a main highway, like a state route highway. So seeing cars go by me all the time, that was my father's rationale. Why do you need to go to the races when you can see cars go by all the time? So it kind of just stuck in my head. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like drag racing. I'll watch that on TV. That impresses me, especially the really old drag racing before they moved the position of the engines, because that was some scary shit. If you think about it, everybody's whipping down the track with the fucking engine sitting right in their face. Yeah, it was some shit. Cali Bear, what's going on? Good to see you. Get you modded up into here? I'm sure everybody has, but make sure you guys have subbed up to each other. Just keep that good love going in the community. Yeah, I'm glad to see you here too, Cali Bear. I saw you were on earlier. It's weird when I guess, unless you're a really organized person and super plan out when you're going to go live, which is not something that I do, I kind of look around and I'm like, huh, I see people, but I don't see a lot of lives going on. Then it's like, well, if I'm bored, maybe some other people are bored, and we can all be bored together and then become high and unbored. And, that's what we do. That's when I create a live and I come on and get to hang out with you guys, which is pretty fucking cool. Boom, 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 boom. What do I have ground up here? Chocolate skunk and some jet fuel. Nice. Nice. I have this micro. When I say micro, that much of a infused Acapulco Gold 1.5 gram pre-roll that I had that is stellar. Really is. Cheers, everybody. I'm going to finish this bad boy up. That does sound really good, Dave. You mentioned that before, and damn, it sounds good. Man, it got deadly quiet in here in my house. It was like everything went off at the same time, including the fan on my computer, and it was like dead fucking silence. Nice, Callie Bear. Nice. Good for you. Good for you. Don't have any travel planned in the near future. We've got a lot of relatives coming into town for a family reunion. So that includes relatives that are here from France. My aunt and uncle and their son all came over a couple of days ago. They're going to be here until I think about the 6th of August. But yeah, so it's going to be kind of cool having them around. Lit sessions with a buddy of mine who grows up. Oh, no shit. No shit, Callie Bear. Good for you. That's fucking awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, that is cool. All right, I gotta go get a water. I'll be right back. Yeah, I got the bacon. I had to. I just had to get the damn bacon. Oh, Callie Bear, you got mushroom chocolate? Dude. Dude, are those the 3.5 gram bars? Because we had one place I could get those here in upstate New York, and then he got busted. He was just a smoke shop that was selling weed and other stuff out of there, including those. If they're the mushroom gummy bar or the mushroom chocolate bars. Nice. Yeah, we can't get them here. You know, that's like there's a hold on a second, because I don't want to misquote it. There is a grower, jgrows420.com. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that .com at the end. I heard some shit like that of not to say it. But needless to say, long story short, everybody was like, go buy from him because he's got a lot of really great stuff. So I go and look on his site. You know, New York State is the only state that they don't ship to. I was pretty impressed with that. It's like, what the hell did we do? Hey, Chew, what's going on? How are you today? Okay. No, he's got great shit. I mean, fantastic prices and everything. I had my cart full of shit. And I got up to that part and it's like, we don't ship to New York State. And I'm like, wait a minute. You ship to every other state. Because somebody said that he's a great source for shatter, though he sells out of it really quick. So, yeah, I was looking for some, but it's not a big deal. It was an impulse thought that I thought it'd be really cool to have some. Come here. Go ahead. Some for your brother. Don't bite my fingers. I'll beat you up. That's enough, guys. You get one more piece because you're being a very good boy. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy, Callie Bear? But it's all right. Yeah, the puppers. They were getting some bacon. We had a whole bacon conversation way earlier. Huh. Been on for almost an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, hour and 45 minutes exactly. That's kind of cool. Apparently, I've yet to stop running my mouth other than to put some bacon in it or go get myself a water. So that's an accomplishment, I guess. Got enough wheat ground to decide if I want to have another bowl or if I want to make myself up a pre-roll. And I think I'm going to vote for making myself up a pre-roll. Nice, Cali Bear. Yeah, so I do a combination of things when I'm rolling mine. Can't even say rolling it. Filling them is what I'm doing, is actually filling the cone. But I have one of these 6-shooters that Raw makes. Somebody gave it to me for a gift. It's pretty cool. You can actually pull this piece out right here and it'll do 6 tubes at a time. I've got it set for just one right now because I'm not going to make multiples, but I don't know. To me, it makes my life a little bit easier, keeps everything self-contained. I found that the stick that they give you for this is way too small. So I have this amazing chopstick. It's my cooking chopstick. You know, you only have one, and it's for stirring up your cornstarch and shit and eggs and whatnot. But this end of it here, the non-pointy end, fits perfectly inside that cone so that you can pack that motherfucker and pack it well. There, that's my public service announcement for the moment. If you're going to pack a blunt, you're going to pack a pre-roll, whatever you're going to do, pack a cone, be blessed and pack it well. Do. Tap, tap, tap. Yeah, I know it's a little annoying, but you throw the weed in the top of this thing, and you're actually supposed to put the weed inside this thing, put the lid on it, and then tap it on the fucking desk like 136,000 times, which is an exaggeration, but it's about what you have to do. But if you don't take the time to pack it down in between, you're fucked. You pull out these freaking things that look like this. They're all fucking hanging and droopy when you try to smoke them, and nobody wants that shit. Not even remotely. what do you do with what do I do with my keef? Well, I've got a jar up top that I keep a bunch of it in. And I mean, to be flat out honest with you, I can't tell you when the last time is that I opened this. So we'll see what's in the bottom of it. Let me see if we can get a good picture of it. If we can't, I'll flip the light on. Here, I'll see if the light makes a difference. Yeah, there we go. So you can see it's got a shit ton of keef in it. It depends. I make keef bowls sometimes. Depends. Yeah, can use it for can of butter. Indoor, outdoor. What's going on? Step right up. There you go. Nice, nice. Just chilling here tonight, hanging out with all you great people. Just finished throwing a cone together, showing this raw freaking, I don't remember what the hell you call it. It's a raw 6-shooter. It'll make do 6 pre-rolls at the same time. But I was just using it on the one setting. Well, I appreciate you coming in to say what's up. That's cool. That is cool. I appreciate everybody, all you guys that have came up into here. You know, I really do. Trying to clean up my mess before I can truly enjoy smoking the rest of that. There we go. Now it's all evened out. It was being vicious, man. It was like the fucking blunt that was going to fight back, light my hair on fire if I had any. Just making sure I'm caught up in the chat. Sorry, guys. Gentle. No more, buddy. What am I blazing? I am blazing on some Strawberry Kush homegrown, which I guess is essentially what the majority of my clones, well, not the majority of, but at least 50% of my clones outside are Strawberry Kush. The rest I pulled were the Master OGs that were trying to get to replicate the purple that the other ones were, because I'm interested to see if that's going to happen. Plus, it was great weed. You know, we've been smoking it right along and we're loving on it. So And then the odd man out is going to be that Blue Sunset sherbet that we've got scrogged right now. So that's the, yeah, that's going to be nice. Somebody gave me that clone. You know, he was like, hey, I got too many. Do you want one or two? And I was like, sure. I mean, I figured it couldn't hurt. Thanks, Dave. Nice indoor. Thank you for letting me know that. You know, it's different when somebody just gives you a clone because it's like I hadn't really looked into those genetics. I hadn't really looked into anything behind that plant to know if it was even anything that I wanted to dick around with. But being that it's outdoors, I know it's more forgiving out there, so I assume we'll just do it and let it run its course, with the exception of scrogging it. But the plant did that to itself. You know, I went out and it was perfectly laying down. One stem was to one side and the other one was to the opposite side, and the wind was holding them down into place. And I said, well, I can't beat the fucking wind. You guys now are officially scrogged. So, and just went on from there. And I think it's about, I want to say it's like 36 inches across right now. I think by 24 wide, something like that. It's getting sizable on the frame. So, yeah. Sorry, man, just setting up my shop right here with my fucking joint and my soda, and I got one piece of bacon left, but I don't want to eat it because the dogs are up my ass. Yeah, we do. We will probably. What are we at? 16th? We've got a couple of weeks left, and I'm expecting more continuous stretch to what I have right now. So I'm thinking, Dave. Yeah, I did say that. I did say that. Yeah, I don't filter myself too good. Sorry. But yeah, we got a couple of weeks before flowers start, so that'll be good. Give us a chance to just make sure everything's where it needs to be. You know, I had a tree that was blocking, part of it was blocking my grow. So my wife came home and she's like, where's the tree? I'm like, the tree's still there. She's like, but you hacked a hole in it. I'm like, it was blocking the flowers. And she was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That is true, indoor. That is very true. You know, I think this year I have been much more hands on with my grow outside because my 150-gallon planter box is taking 30 plus gallons of water. You know, I was doing the math on it, and you know, between now and when they go into flower, I think I figured it out. It's like 1,200 gallons of water or something insane like that. And I know part of that is because I'm growing in cocoa, and that makes a difference. But still the same. That's at 10%. So yeah. Trust me, I don't really know what that last conversation was about that I just had, but I ended it with yeah, so it must have been right, true, or partially true. All right, indoor, outdoor. You have a good one. Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy. Yep, Dave. Yep, I am. I am indeed. And that's okay. I think that's what we're here for. Maybe that's what I should name one of my next lives, Baked Crumble, but people would probably fucking come in and expect me making apple pie and shit. Got it, indoor. Yeah, apple pie. I'm trying to think of some of the shit I've been called in chat rooms. Crumbleweed. That was one. Somebody called me Crumbleweed. Crumblewick. Crumble Dick. Trying to think of what else. I don't know. I think it's funny though. There's a handful of people that have chosen to recreate my name, my screen name, in unique ways. And it's funny because my wife said something to me about one of them the other day. And she's like, that's kind of silly. And I'm like, no, it isn't. I'm like, out of all the people that I chat with on a daily basis, they're the only person that calls me that specific thing. And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yep, that's how that works. Baked crumble, dabbing on some crumble. Ha! Yeah, I did dabs earlier. I still can. I still can. I got my bomb E-rig. This little motherfucker. There we are. Yeah, I was ripping on that earlier. I have some of the. Which one do I have here? This is the Cosmic Nectar from Rise Hemp. Yep. Thanks, Galley Bear. All right, indoor. Sorry, gotta. Excuse me. Switched water. Much better, I think. Huh. Couldn't find my phone for a minute. Now I really know that I'm high. Over the last bush to finish off my garden. I figure she's Nice indoor. That's nice. Damn, I'm lit riding the roller coaster. Got to put my seatbelt on and take off for blast off. All right, Cali Bear. You fucking fly, man. Fly, fly indeed. That's what it's all about some days. Getting that smoke on and getting to that place. Yeah, I can be flat out honest and say that I don't know what I would have done the past X number of years if not for cannabis. I mean, I would have never gotten through my hip replacement just because that happened during COVID. And I was supposed to have my surgery right before COVID started. And then COVID happened. And I had to wait 2 fucking years. And I didn't want to be on pain meds for 2 years. So I figured, what could it possibly hurt? And yeah, I can attribute that to it. I can give credit to it for my lack of drinking, which is coming up on 3 years on the 18th of this month. So in a couple of days, some day after tomorrow or some shit like that. Which is kind of cool. And just overall general health, I feel better. Was able to change some of my meds through my doctors, whether it be meds for blood pressure and shit like that, or even shrink meds, when I go and get my fucking head examined by the brain shrinkers, but still the same. You get off some of those, you feel better. They're not attacking me for using cannabis as part of my mental health regime or just general holistic health, as I like to call it. It sounds a little bit better. Plans for my therapy. There you go. Yeah. I mean, that's a reality of some things. It really is. Yep. Yep. I get that. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, Indoor. It really does. You know, I did my stint in rehab for alcohol, and people were like, "Why are you here?" Because I went voluntarily. I didn't have any legals or anything like that. I woke up one day and said, "I don't want to drink anymore." And yeah, what a fucking ride it was from then to 3 years ago. Yeah, what a fucking ride. And I can't say 3 years ago because I'm saying 3 years ago on when I stopped drinking. Go prior to that on the bringing of cannabis into my life, you know. So I don't know. Definitely interesting improvements from the introduction of that into my life. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da-dum. See what this is over here. What's this? Nope, I don't want to share my screen. What the hell's this thing do? Send feedback. Pop out dashboard. Channel level settings. Thanks. It's, I don't know. I learned something, I'll say, this time when I stopped drinking. I have to keep in mind I'll always be an alcoholic, blah, 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 whatever. I know all that. I'm not an imbecile. But the reality is that was a part of my life that had it not happened, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I have to be grateful for it, even though it was a suckhole, for X number of years. I didn't drink for 20 years, then I decided to drink for 10 or 13. Then I stopped again. So, yeah. That's a good song, Cali Bear. That is. That is. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to make music play on this fucking thing. I'll have to YouTube search it tomorrow and see if I can figure it out. Unless what it is you just play your shit in the background and adjust the volume on it, which is probably what it is. Huh. Mine, Dave? Yeah, just, because my indoor tent right now has young autoflowers in it, and they're just starting to smell because they're about that tall, somewhere into there, maybe a little bit taller, so almost 4 inches tall. So they're starting to get a little hardy looking and like that. So they're starting to put off their first smells. But yeah, it's nice because you unzip the tent because I've just got them in a little 2x2 tent right now. Because I'll let them stay there until they're probably 4 inches tall or something. Let them get a lot of roots in the bottom of the solo cup, then I'll transfer them to their forever homes. Get the fancy music and editing. Yeah, okay. I'll work on that. There's a couple of videos that I created that I tried to do all those transitions and shit like that, and I got it to work, but then I didn't like my transitions and I couldn't figure out how to delete them and then put them back in. And then the thing was just being a little fucker. And I couldn't drop the audio off from something that I wanted to post because I figured YouTube was going to have a shit attack if I swore on it. But then I realized as long as I don't swear in like the first, I think it's 7 minutes or something like that of your video, they tend to leave you alone because if they were going to put a sponsor on, they were going to have a video, or an ad in some fucking certain amount of time. I don't know. I'm talking shit, but that was how I understood the whole thing to be. CB, what's going on? I'm still sitting here rambling my ass off. How are you? It has been established that Crumbleweed is quite high tonight. Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. To hit your video and you go and appeal it. You get 2 chances at appealing each video you put on. Yeah, I have all of my videos are age restricted, and it honestly it doesn't bother me because I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is I marked them all, I marked them that way already. But what ends up happening is then I get a notice from YouTube saying, hey, fucker, guess what? You violated terms and conditions, so we're, restricting your freaking video. And it's like, but you already did. I did this myself. Yeah. Yeah, I think we are too, Dave. Oh, that's fantastic indoor. That really is. Agreed, CB. Agreed. Nice. Nice. That's freaking huge. Huh. I don't know if I should invest some time in appealing. I think I got 50 videos up or something like that. Max, what are you doing? I hear you over there. Oh, brand new free grow. No kidding. Huh. That's pretty impressive. Alexa, turn all lights off. Thank you, Alexa. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da. Do-do. What am I looking for here? My channel. And let me. It's like the second time she's done it tonight, Dave. Choose where. Yeah, I need to understand the algorithm stuff better, and I'm trying. I am trying. I think if I dedicate some time to it, I will, and I really haven't. I've been focusing on other things, but I think if I took a day or two and just stuck my head on it real hard, I could make some probably better educated decisions in that direction. Just just how I want to handle things, how I want to present things. I mean, as much as everybody was talking about, hey, you got to have these keywords in there, like hashtag this, that, whatever else. And it's like, I have not a clue what you are talking about. I'm guessing maybe I have no idea where it goes unless it goes in the description box. And then what do I do? Just put in like hashtag shit that I want? Is that how that works? Like if I wanted to talk about lighters, I'd be like hashtag lighter, hashtag Zippo, hashtag Bic, hashtag fucking Bronson, hashtag Flint. I don't fucking know. But something like that, except more geared towards cannabis or what I'm specifically talking about on my channel. If that's the case, then that's probably an easier way to do it for me. Which one you smoke is hashtag smoke. Okay. All right. Yo, what's going on, Triple B? Have not seen you in quite a while. Nice. Get you modded up. Okay, Indoor. All right. They don't let you do them all at once, of course. I'm sure you have to do each one individually, which is fine. Nice part is they're not long videos. So, yeah, which I don't know if that matters or not, but when it comes to reviewing them and whatnot, and they go in, I don't know how they could say I violated anything when I run a disclaimer. It's their fucking music, and I've never once, except on my lives, used the word cannabis, weed, smoke, swore, or anything else. I take that back. I think I have sworn on a couple of my videos that are on, but it's later in the video, so fuck them. Let's see. Indoor, outdoor, smoke. Go to studio. You can do them all at once? No shit. All right. Huh. Okay, that's impressive. Once. Nice. Okay. That's cool to know. I'm going to have to do that because that could change things like you said. Let's see if any of my kids are still up. Sorry about that for a second. Hey. Shh. You want to go bed? Max? Stay in here. Making all that racket. Hold on a second here. I apologize. I'm just really slow to type. And I'm trying to send a message to my daughter. So, I'm on YouTube Live. There we go. And send a smiley face. Completed. All right. Daughter in Denver has been sent smiley face emoji and some other shit that was attached to it. I sent it to her for a reason. Oh, she's messaging me back already. Message has been received, probably loud and clear. Let's see what she's saying this fine evening. She's no fun. I was going to see if she would come over and be a lurker in the audience or something. I know one or two of my sons were earlier because one of them messaged me and was like, Dad, I'm in your live right now watching it. And I was like, oh, okay. Ahead. What is going on? Are you having a good time? Just hanging out, smoking up, telling stories, forgetting for a couple minutes that I was even on video, just staring off into fucking Johnny knows where, which is all right. Nobody seemed to mind. Everybody just kept going on with what they were doing. Probably throwing a glance this way. What the fuck is Crumbleweed stroking out or something? Jesus. You're okay. You can stay up longer. You'll be fine. Dogs aren't used to staying out this late. They usually put themselves to bed around 9:30, but they decided it was going to be a treat and they were going to stay out here and be both very good boys tonight. So I can't really be upset with either of them. All right, Indoor. Outdoor, thanks, man. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for all the great information. I hope you get some good rest tonight. Peace. Boom, 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 boom. We say peace, Dave. La 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 la. Da da la 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 la. Who is live right now? Well, I'm thinking I'm going to bring this to an end, everybody. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Like always, even though I know you have, I'm going to say it anyway. Like, share, and subscribe. If you came back to watch this on the restream, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And if not, and you just stumbled across this because you felt like it and you watched my dumbass throughout it, then hey, feel free to come back anytime you want. All right, guys. Have a great night. Love y'all. Thank you.